animation settings. It's down here in the bottom right corner. I'm going to click on this icon right here, and I'm going to change my playback speed to 24 frames per second. I'm going to go up to animation, and I'll click on weighted tangents, and then I'll make sure I'm set to linear for my default in and out tangents. I'm going to hit save. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a two-panel view. So starting at the top, it's a little bit hard to see because I have a small screen here. But if you count down 1, 2, 3, 4, this fourth panel, it's a two-panel layout. The bottom panel is your graph editor. And the top panel right here, let's change this. We'll go to Panels, Orthographic, and I'm going to go to Front. I'll zoom out a little bit here. And I'll just click and drag this down a little bit. So I don't have a lot of space up here in this panel because of all this stuff at the top of the interface. So I'm going to go to Display UI Elements. I'll turn off the shelf. And I'm also going to turn off the status line. And the last thing I'm going to turn off is the command line down here at the bottom. Okay. So let's change our range for our animation. I'm going to change it from 24 frames to 96 frames. Okay, I think now we're ready to start the animation process for this exercise. So what I'm going to do is start with the bowling ball right here, and I'm just going to go to the first frame on the timeline here. I'll click and drag next to Translate X, and I'll drag down to Translate Y. I'm going to right click and go to Key Selected and set a keyframe here. Now every time I move the bowling ball, I want to automatically set a new keyframe. So down here in the bottom right corner, I'm going to click on this auto keyframe toggle button. Once that's red, I know that that's turned on. Alright, let's start with some animation. I'm going to press W for my move tool, and I'm going to move my slider down here from 1 to 16, and I'm going to bring the bowling ball down to the ground here. And then I'll go to frame 20. I'll bring it up. And then I'll go to frame 24 and bring it back down. And then I'm going to go to 26, go up, and then I'll go to 28. Oops. And bring it back down. And then from here, I'm going to go to frame 38 and have the ball just roll to a stop right here. So I can see here I've got my graph, and I'm just going to hit play and see what we have so far. Okay, so not looking too great, but we've got a sense of what's happening here. And the timing is, for the most part, okay. I'm going to go in and select all the keyframes for Translate X on the graph here, and I'm going to delete them. And now I'll hit play, and this should be a little bit smoother. Alright, so I'm going to go to the last keyframe for Translate X, and I'm going to hit this button right here, and I'll flatten out that tangent, and then it's going to slow into that keyframe. Okay. Alright. Now let's start to adjust our Translate Y. So I'll just hit A, and I'm going to select the keyframes at the apex positions here, and I'll hit flat tangents. I'll select the keyframes at the point where the ball makes contact with the ground, and I'm going to break these tangents and free the tangent weights. And now one at a time, I'm going to click and drag around a box around the handle, and then I'll hold down the middle mouse button and make adjustments to each of these handles. So as it comes down and hits the ground, it's going to move into that keyframe very fast and move away from that keyframe at a fast speed. We do not want to slow into the contact points on the ground. Raise this up a little bit. I'm going to hold down the shift key, middle mouse click on that keyframe, and drag it up a little bit here. Alright, I'm going to play the animation and take a look at what I have. Okay, so far so good. So now let's go in and let's edit a little bit more here so that when the ball rolls off of this ledge, it doesn't go into the ledge here. So there's a couple things that I can try. First thing is I'll free the tangent weight right here, and I'm going to select the handle here, and I'll hold down Shift, click and drag this out, and you can see that gives us a little bit of adjustment here, but it's not quite going to do what we want because it's going to edit the curve on this side. So I'm going to bring that back. Okay. We can try a slow out right here, and that you can see makes it worse. So let's edit our slow out on the translate Y. So I'm going to free the tangent weight, select this handle, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click and drag this out. And you can see what that's doing is that's raising it up. So that's going to help us out. Now I do have a problem in that it's kind of curving right here. And so possibly what we want to do is take this, just select this handle. Let's go to the curve position where it's kind of raising up a little bit here. I'll select the handle and bring this down a little bit. Okay. So we're still intersecting with that point right there. I'm going to try and take this handle right here, and I'll middle mouse click and adjust this. Let's see what that does. That's pretty close. So let me play this and have a look. And I think I want to raise the bounce up on the so anyways, yeah, this up here looks close enough. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Right here, I think let me play this again, take another look at it. Yeah, I think up here I'm just going to select this frame, free the tangent weight, and hold down the Shift key and click and drag and just drag this out. Just extend that a little bit. Okay. So I'm satisfied with the bowling ball, the translate X and Y on this, and now we're just going to go ahead and rotate on the Z axis to add a little bit more life to this, because right now it's just sliding. And bowling balls do slide, but we want to have a little bit of rotation. So I'll click on this. Starting on frame 1, I'll go to rotate Z. I'm going to right click and go to key selected, and then I'm just going to go to the end of the animation on frame 38, and I'll rotate. Let's see here. Let's try maybe 270. Let's see what that looks like. At first glance, that doesn't look like enough, but before I make any adjustments to the rotation, the amount of rotation, let me see, I'm just going to hit A, and let's slow in and slow out on those keyframes there. So I'll go to flat tangents, and let's watch this again. I do think there needs to be more rotation here. So I'm going to select the keyframe on frame 38, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key, hold down the middle mouse button, and drag this keyframe down. I'm increasing the rotation amount. Let's go to 400, and let's take a look. Start at the beginning here. And I definitely want more than that, so I'm going to increase this even more. Let's see here. I like that a lot more. But I don't want to slow out actually on the first keyframe, so I'll go back to my linear. Yeah. Let's take a look at it now. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. And our final rotation is negative 633 degrees. So you're going to want to have a value similar to that on your own screen. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to go in and we want to animate the beach ball reacting with the bowling ball. So I'm going to go down to, I'm going to find the contact point for the bowling ball here and then go back one frame. And let's push the beach ball now over to here. And now I'm going to try and see if I can manipulate this a little bit. I'm going to click on Translate Y on my graph editor here and hit A. Let's see if I can push this up a little bit more. So I'm going to take this handle right here and go up like so. Now this might affect, yeah, it's going to ruin this up here. So I'm going to undo that. It was worth a try. So for right here, I think what we're going to do, I'll just move the beach ball over and we'll have it right here on frame 14. I'm going to just take the beach ball here and I'll key in Translate X and Translate Y. So I've got a key selected here. And then on frame 15, this ball's going to have to the baseball's going to have to shoot up into the air. So we're going to go 14, and then the next frame I'm going to go to is frame 27. And I'm going to move the beach ball up into the air here. And then I'm going to go to frame 40. And I'll move it back down onto the ground. And let's just take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so that'll probably be okay. Let's just flatten out this tangent at the top, and let's break the two tangents we're looking at. This is a graph for Translate Y. I'll break these tangents here. And let's select the handles, middle mouse click to adjust. Okay. Boom. So let me play this because you can't just scrub through it. I need that to shoot up a little bit higher, faster. So let me take this, bring that up on both sides. And let's bring this up as well. There we go. Let's see here. That might be a little bit too high. Let me bring this down a little bit here. Play it again. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So let's take a look at what I have for at frame 27. I have a height, a Translate Y value for the beach ball at 9.94. So a value similar will get you a decent result here. Alright, so let's animate the rest of this. Let's see, I'm going to go to frame 40 here, and then the next keyframe we're going to want to go to is 50. I'll move the beach ball up and over, and then on frame 60, I'll move the beach ball back down and I'll move it over. Okay. And then we'll go to frame 66. Now the timing here, we're shortening in time because the ball's losing momentum and the bounces are smaller. So we'll go to 72 now, move it back down, and move it over. And then we'll do, let's see, 2 more bounces. Let's go 77. We'll go up. Let's see here. Oops, let's do that again here. And then we'll go from 77 to 82. We'll come back down and over. And we'll do 1 more bounce. We'll go up to 85. Go up, over. And then we'll stop at 88. And we'll go down, back down here. So I'm going to take a look at Translate Y here. I'm just going to take all these keyframes in the middle. We don't need them. Delete those. We'll do, let's see. We'll slow into that last frame there. And then let's go to Translate Y, and I'm going to just drag this up so I have a little more space. I'll hit A, and I'll select all the keyframes on the top, on the apex positions, and I'll flatten them out. I'll select all the keyframes at the position where the ball contacts with the ground, and I'm going to break the tangents, and I'll free the tangent weights. I'm looking at frame, the last section here. So we've got 82. We wanted to go to 85. I went to 86. Let me move this over. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to make some adjustments here. So I'll just select the handle here, middle mouse click and adjust. Do it on all of these keyframes where the ball contacts with the ground. Zoom in a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to select these. I'll free the tangent weights, and I'll select each handle, hold down shift, and just drag this out so we have a little bit more. Oops, try that again. Just want to have a little more hang time. Okay. So I think I'm going to move this up a little bit. I want to have a greater height on that bounce. Okay, let's play this and see how it looks. Okay, bounces look good, but we need to have the I think what we need to do is we need to select the frame here for our translate X, and we need to extend it out. So I want to just hold down the shift key here. So I'll select the keyframe, hold down shift, and then hold down the middle mouse button, and I'm going to drag this out and extend the time to 96. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah. And then I'm going to take my total length of the animation here, and I'm just going to change it to 106. So I have a little bit of time at the end to kind of read what's happening. Okay, and then we have a problem where the ball comes down. It kind of hits the bowling ball here, and that's not going to work. So what we need to do is let's free the tangent weights here, and let me bring this out a little bit further here. See what that does for us. I'm not sure I like that, so I'm going to hit Z to undo, and let's try and just increase the distance a little bit here. So I'll take this keyframe, hold down shift, hold down the middle mouse button, drag this out a little bit. and increase the distance that way. Still making a little bit of contact here. But what I can probably do, let me see here. Let's select the handle right here and push that up a little bit, and I think that'll fix our problem. Boom. Yeah. Let me play this again. Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to start with the rotation on the beach ball now. So let's see. We got a kind of a fudge frame right there. That doesn't look too great, but we'll let it slide. I'm wondering if maybe, let's see if I can fix that. Let's go, let's see here. If I go to translate Y on here, I can try and push this up. And that might look better. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, I like that more. There's still a little bit of contact there, but it's not quite as bad. Alright, so let's work on the rotation now. Starting on frame 14, let's key our rotate Z value. So go to key selected, and then I'm going to go from 14 to 40, and I want to give it a backspin. So I'm going to rotate backwards maybe about 400 degrees. I think, yeah. Let's see what that looks like. So I'll play this. Yeah, I like that. So as the bowling ball comes down, it's spinning the beach ball as it shoots it up. Okay, so we have a lot of spin, a backspin here, and then because the beach ball is moving to the right, I'm going to change the spin on the rest of it. So starting on frame 40, now we'll just go to the end, which would be 96. And I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to rotate it back the other way. So I'm going to go down to, let me try that again, 399. So let's go down to about 150 and see what that looks like. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's take this, take the beach ball, and let's go to our rotate Z value. I'll hit A to see the whole graph, and let's slow into the last keyframe there. So I'll hit flat tangents and play this again. Yeah. All right. It's looking pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and make sure that you save your work. Do not forget to send a copy of your work to the Dropbox. And that is the end of this exercise.